Hey guys, it's your girl Tower Crush, back with another review, and this time it is for Sistas on BET. If you haven't already, please hit my subscribe button down at the bottom. Thank you so much. And I definitely want to get right into this review because, baby, that was an episode. I just don't know what to do with myself in these Tyler Perry series because they are really coming around. The ones that I watch anyway, the two that I watch. And so I'm really excited. But yes, let's get into it. So the episode opens up in the restaurant and the fight. So we get to see both of them beat up on each other. It wasn't a beat up by anybody. Both of them got licks in. Zach probably got the upper hand or the better of Aaron, but he's supposed to. He's the one that been to jail. So he's supposed to be able to get the upper hand. But Aaron held his own. And so from that, we saw Andy trying to get, Karen and Aaron to leave. And we saw Fatima trying to calm Zach down. And at the same time, we saw Angela rolling her eyes at Zach. Why you mad because your man want him? Why you mad because your man want him? Excuse me, Angela. Excuse me. You mad because your man want him? We all know it. You've been having an attitude ever since you learned the truth. That is the truth. And that, I don't know. I just don't feel like you should be taking it out on Zach because it ain't his fault. But anyway, Zach was still wrong for inciting the fight because it didn't have to be. If he had came in there like he had some sense, like he had matured to an adult age, then they would have never gotten into a fight. He would have never put his hands on Karen, forcing Aaron to stand up and defend her. So that part was just inevitable once he put his hands on her. It was supposed to go down the way it was. You're supposed to stand up for your woman and make her feel protected and loved. Now, when Fatima gets, her and she's riding, I guess, with Angela. And so they get to the house and, Angela's asking her, what was that? Oh my God, he was just like, he was so mad, like... And she's just really trying to, throw dubs on the situation. Yeah, it was a big situation, but you just need to butt your big butt out of it, honey. Stick your big head out of the situation because you ain't got nothing else to do with it. You've done enough. You've done enough. Sitting there giving that girl the picture, knowing that she ain't wrapped too tight, and then gonna act like, oh my God, I can't believe he acted that way. How you think he's supposed to act? That's his fiance, and you playing because you finally got a man that you thought liked you, but he's bisexual. Anyway, so, Fatima and Zach arguing, it was just like, oh my God, they were going back and forth and he got to hollering it. Now, I feel like Fatima was definitely in the wrong in this situation because in a situation where your man just got finished fighting, his emotions are going, now it's not the time to be questioning him. Why are you asking him questions? He needs to be able to calm down. He needs to be able to sleep on it or be able to vent to you. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that shoved the phone in his face to make it to where he had to storm out trying to figure out what was going on. You did that. You, and only you. So I just really feel like you should have, you got him something for his hand. His hand was swollen, but you should have left that at that and just shut your mouth. You incited that because you just had to get out what you wanted to get out. So... in turn, you told him, well, he basically said he was going to bed and you said, yeah, on the couch. First of all, how you going to tell him where to sleep? In his house. Yes, it's your house too, but it's his house more than it is yours. So how you going to tell him where he's going to sleep? I don't agree with that. Women doing that stuff. I don't agree with that. He didn't cheat on you. He didn't do anything wrong to you. Outside of being stupid enough to hug Karen. But that wasn't really wrong. I mean, it was wrong, but, it ain't, for you to be doing all of this. Especially since you've been in that same situation. Where you done hugged your ex and got the picture misconstrued. And didn't want to tell Zach about it. So, yeah, don't act like you innocent, Fatima. I don't like that. So she gonna storm off and leave talking about, well, I'm leaving and gonna leave her engagement ring on the on the island. And I'm like, girl, all of that for what? You're going back. but talking about, you know, she's out. And he was like, leave. I'm not going to beg you to stay. And then he was about to beg her to stay, and he decided against it. And then he did some effing, and then the scene went away. So I was just like, girl, Fatima, don't be trying to threaten Zatima. Stop acting like that. Either you're going to ride with this man or you're not. But this is not the definition of riding. You are riding and nagging at the same time. That is not a good look for either of you. Moving right along. Gary and Robin. Gary shows up at the bar, at the restaurant right after Andy left, which makes me believe that he's probably following her. And so he was trying to figure out what was going on, and he saw Robin at the bar, and so he goes over there to talk to him. And, you know, he's trying to figure out what happened, and Robin's like, two patrons got into it. Do you know him? Why would he know him? He's from London. Come on, man. Let's not ask stupid questions, Gary. And what got me is that, you know, Gary gonna offer Robin a drink. Said, no, you need to be saving your money. I'll get this one. And he was like, why you say that? And he was like, well, you know, tomorrow the meeting. And he was like, the money's there. I said to myself, now why would you tell Gary that the money was there? Why would you do that? Wouldn't that be like the dumbest thing that you could ever do? But you did it, so Gary gets called over because his table's ready, and Robin leaves. So Gary goes over and calls Hayden, of course. Hayden's sitting there with Tamira, I think that's her name, the gold digger. And they doing the oochie coochie or whatever, and the phone rings, and she's like, you need to get that. And he was like, I don't want to get that. And she was like, answer the phone. And so he answered the phone. She went to the bathroom. He was basically trying to rush Gary off the phone. Gary let him know that Robin come up with the money. He's like, how did he do that? There's no way. He was too leveraged. How did he find the money? What? A bank wouldn't have given it to him. What in the world? Like, how did he do this? And he was like, well, I'll find out. I'll get on it in the morning. So Hayden, with his big head ass, is about to be trying to figure out where Robin got his money from. And hopefully he can't find out. At the same time, you know, Tamira comes back and she's like, well, I got to leave because I got to find a job in the morning. And he was like, no, you don't have to find a job. Basically trying to take care of her already. She knew what she was doing, honey. But he was like, you don't have to find a job. She's like, I am not the type of woman to let a man take care of me. And he was like, I didn't say you had to, but how about we have sex all night? And in the morning, I'll find you a job. So she's like, you don't even know what I can do. Oh, I know what you can do. Oh, this was the cheesiest conversation ever, but I guess it's working the way it's supposed to work, huh? So, yeah, so she's staying, and, you know, the plan is definitely unraveling. So we move on to Karen, Aaron, and Andy. They get into Karen's apartment. Karen's going off. But then Andy, with her dumb self, want to tell Karen that she knew about the picture. Can anybody explain to me why Andy felt like she needed to tell Karen about the picture? That she knew about the picture. Andy did the right thing. Andy's not supposed to, she's got two opposing friends. She's not supposed to run in between both and tell the other information. That's called being two-faced. She can be the hoarder of all of y'all's information as long as she's not, you know, telling Karen Fatima business and Fatima Karen business. But Karen wants to know Fatima business, and that's just wrong. Karen was dead wrong. She definitely cussed Andy out, told her to get the F out of her apartment. You know, Aaron with his, you know, scrotumless self just standing there, didn't do anything. She tried to get him to chime in, and Karen was like, no, he ain't got nothing to say about this. Of course, because you're wearing the pants. You are toxic Tina, and that's just that on that. You are toxic as I don't know what, Karen, and that was just, that was not a good look. And of course, Andy let her get away with it. I would have cussed her right back out. No, you ain't always there for me. You self-consumed, honey. You've been so consumed with trying to figure out what's going on with Zach. You have not been there for me here lately. You haven't. So, but Andy didn't do that. Of course, she plays victim when Karen goes in the room, which she was in that situation, but at the same time, you could have defended yourself better. Some attorney wouldn't be representing me in none. Okay, and so let's talk about Danny and Sabrina. So, of course, we left off last week. Danny was at Sabrina's house, and she talked about Preston and whatnot. And she went over there to try to get away from wanting to have sex with someone. Danny's definitely, you know, the sausage party in the crew. And I'm just very, very disgusted with her because when she leaves Sabrina's house, she calls Q. And I told y'all she was going to wind up calling Q. And what I didn't understand is how was his number in your phone? So you programmed his number in your phone because you knew you was going to be calling him. Listen, I have never been that disgusted in my life. Just watching her call him, I was like, girl, you are not that doggone horny. You can wait. Like, it's pretty sad, you know, how her character is written because she's literally effing out of both legs. It's like if she doesn't have somebody to have sex with, she loses her mind. And that's crazy to me. And it's nasty. And pew. Okay? All right. Okay, and so what got me is that we still didn't see Sabrina. Sabrina still didn't say Q's name. It was just a wasted scene. I think they just wanted us to see her call Q right outside of Sabrina's door so that we could lose our minds. I think that was the purpose of that scene. And so we did actually see Maurice in jail. Maurice has a new bunkmate. He comes in super, you know, super happy, telling Maurice he think he's sexy, and this and this and that and that. Maurice is looking him up and down, talking about I'm a bottom most of the time. And he thinks that dude is a, you know, a mold for the prosecution. Dude's like, I'm not working with them. I don't know them or whatever. And maybe they'll come together and figure out a way to get this prosecutor in trouble because he seems hell-bent to get, you know, people arrested that are not guilty. And that's not what justice is. That's not justice at all. So that was interesting to see. But I think with him getting a bunkmate, at least then he may not be so in a rush to get out of there. He can actually calm down, chill out a little bit because he'll have somebody to talk to. Because dude's kind of cute. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely see an attraction happening there. Okay, so Karen and Aaron. So Karen asked Aaron, was she out of line? And he was like, yeah, you kind of was. You know, she's really hurt by what you said. And she was like, well, I'll call her tomorrow. You know, I'll apologize. And he was like, yeah, because, you know, you can't expect for her, you know, to blah, 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 blah. And she was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to rest. He said, I think that's a wonderful idea. First, she had to call the shop to make sure everything got turned off. And, of course, it did. Pam was there. And, of course, with her smart aleck self, she going to hang up and say, she always trying to micromanage somebody. She said, I'm still on the phone. She did that on purpose. She wanted Karen to hear that. I don't care what you say. She wanted Karen to hear that. So I thought that was pretty cute. And she went on and laid down. And then we go to Danny's apartment. And then here comes Q. Danny and she's drinking. And Q comes in. You know, he's like, this is nice. Of course, you think it's nice with your homeless self. Everything's nice to you. You sizing up the whole apartment. I said, Danny, if you bring that boy to your house, he is not leaving. He is going to call his PO by the morning and let the PO know that this is where he's living now. Now, how the heck he's able to be at your house with an ankle monitor and not having that doesn't happen. You don't just get to walk around with an ankle monitor and not have a curfew. Like, there are rules for home incarceration. And it doesn't mean you can just go and get some strange from anybody on any particular day. You got to actually go before the judge to get permission to be out of the house, period. And that house being the house that they have on file for you, which is not Danny's apartment. You know, so I was just like, oh, I just cannot. So they're sitting there talking and he's like basically trying to, you know, throw his charm out. Like, he just feel like he's the best thing since sliced bread, and he's a man, and you know, he's a fine man, and so any woman's gonna want him. All he got to do is really take his shirt off, and he did just that. Now, my whole thing was, this is when I started throwing up in the back of my mouth. Like, who let somebody just start taking their clothes off? I have not told you what was going down, number one. Number two, this is my house, and you just gonna strip down naked? No, get out. Now, to me, she should have been some type of traumatized from the last time. The last time you let somebody strange come over, you wind up getting your butt smacked and wind up running over them and almost catching a murder charge. But just a couple of days later, you got Q in your house. Of all people, Q. And it's not like you think he might be a good guy. You know he's a bad guy. He got an ankle bracelet on. He's in the courts right now. And it's just like, girl, desperado. Why is she so desperate? I don't know. Why is she so desperate? But it was just so sickening. And, you know, she kept telling him to cover up or whatever. And he's like, why I got to cover up? He's like, why? And she was like, she was like, put some clothes on. He was like, okay, well, I'm going to lay in that bed. And she was like, that bed in there? It was dumb. You knew you was going to give in to him. So why you did all of that talking? I don't know. Because he going to say, well, you want me to leave? And she going to look like, girl, say no. I want a hunch. With your nasty self, dirty coochie. Like, I'm just so mad. I'm so mad at Danny, girl. Have some self-respect. Do you have condoms? I was like, this slut. This slut. I was so disgusted. So that went off, and I'm like, well, there goes the neighborhood, because here she gonna go give herself to him. And I wouldn't have, now if he rocks her world, how long is it gonna take her to be done with him? Is it gonna be a fight for them? Like, is she gonna fight actually letting him go? I don't know. But I thought that was right trifling that she went on to let him come over and have sex with her. I thought that was trifling. Sorry, Danny. Trifling, trifling, trifling. You get the donkey of the day. Danny, the donkey of the day. Moving right along to the last thing I want to talk about. And that was, you know, Fatima calling Andy to check on her. And to let her know that she was probably staying at a hotel. And Andy was like, I'm fine, but no, you're not staying at a hotel. I got 3 extra bedrooms. I didn't know it was a 4-bedroom condo. I didn't know that. Did y'all know that? I didn't know it was 4 bedrooms. I thought it was 2. But now that all of a sudden mysteriously it's 4. Like, they could all live in there. Like, really. So she tells Fatima to come over. Fatima comes. Before Fatima gets there, Robin comes and basically lets her know that Gary was at the restaurant. And she makes mention that he's probably following her. And he's like, and you think that's good? And she was like, no, but I think I can handle it. And, you know, they thanked each other again. She thanked him for the drink. He thanked her for the connection and whatnot. And she did question him if he thought it was smart for him to tell Gary, and told him that Gary's very cunning. Gary better not do anything to, you know, get the company from up under Robin. I don't like that. And he is just showing his jealousy, his possessiveness. Like, you ain't changed at all. And if she can't see that, I don't know what to tell her. She's got to be blind as Stevie Wonder if she can't see it. So Robin was like, well, I'm going to get out of here. And I could tell from the way they was looking at each other, she about to get back into him. And that's the couple. That's the dude she's supposed to be with. She's not supposed to be with no raggedy Gary. No milk dud head ass Gary. She ain't supposed to be with him. And he's about to show that Gary ain't went nowhere. That he's right there, been there the whole time. He's just been faking it till he make it. And I think he's going to reveal himself next week when he tells her that he basically was trying to take the company because he didn't want Robin around her. Which means that you're trying to control me again. It's gross. And if she continues to mess with him, Andy, there will be no hope for you. Okay, and so Fatima gets over there, and Andy talks to her and lets her know, you know, you and Zach love each other. Y'all should definitely work through this. And Fatima's like, no, I don't know. I don't think so this time. She's like, well, back to my apartment because he got to talking about his house this, his house that. Yeah, because it is his. Like, I was so mad at Fatima, like, the entitlement of these women on the show, like, come on. Come on. And you know Zach is trying. I could see if he was out here steadily making huge mistakes. He's not doing that. You're just not giving him an opportunity to be in redemption. He can't redeem himself for 5 minutes. You're going to find something to get mad at him about. So I was happy that he blew up on you. I just hope that y'all do kind of come back together because I like the series, The Team a lot. And y'all can't be killing the series over her on Sistas. We're not doing that. You stay with him all this time. You might as well just sit back, shut up, and enjoy the ride. Okay, and so she's telling Fatima, you know, you don't let Karen come between y'all. And then ding, who comes off the elevator? Karen. But I thought Karen was going to sleep. She was going to sleep. But then all of a sudden she decided to just get up and go over. Really? I said, whatever to make it whatever. Because she was getting some rest. How did she get past Aaron to get all the way to Andy's house to confront her and Fatima again? So I guess that'll pick up next week and we'll figure out where that's going. But baby, when I say this was quite an episode, it was an episode. And I enjoyed every moment of it. I really did. I was like, now whoever, if this is all Tyler Perry's writing, bravo to you, brother. Bravo, Mr. Perry. If you've got a team of people that are helping you out, bravo to them. But I need y'all to hurry up with this Q situation. I need that to be done and over with. And I need Q off of the show. I'm sick of seeing him. I don't know why you got him messing with somebody new in the cast. Like, he's not going nowhere. Like, why would you even sign a long contract with him? Put him on a different show. You should have had him join the Rockadushi. He ain't have to stay on Sistas. Like, seriously, it's crazy. But anyway. But anywho. That's all I have for this week. So again, if you haven't already, please hit my subscribe button down at the bottom. And again, if you are not the subscribing type, that's okay. You got to the end of this video. And that's more than I can ask of anybody, right? Okay. And that is my $5.02. Peace.